Hello everybody! So today we're going to do another ink swap swatching. I have this massive amount of inks that the very generous Joveth swapped with me. We did this swap last year. I know I've been really bad at keeping up with my swaps, but I wanted to share these with you, so I kind of held on to them. I have had a look at these but haven't really swatched them out yet, but you can tell from the labels on top what kind of colors they are. But yeah, so Joveth is a lovely person that I met, I think through Instagram maybe, or maybe on a YouTube video, but he is a lovely creator. He has a beautiful Instagram account where he swatches a lot of inks. He did a beautiful sort of session of swatching for the Colorverse and Diamine ink vent calendars last year, so go check him out. He is Ink Apothecarian over on Instagram. I will put all his info in the description box below. I think he also just started a podcast with his friend Santiago of the Outpost stationery store in Seattle, so that is called the Outpost Broadcast. Again, I'll put all his info in the description box below, so you can go check him out and follow him. Yeah, so this is just a small selection of the stuff that he gave me. He gave me lots and lots of goodies that I have played with some, and some I haven't opened because, for example, this sticker set is just super cute and I don't really want to break it up. But yeah, I am excited to use these in my journal. I don't know, the time has to be right because they're so cute. He also sent over some Irreful ink cards and this really cool sort of ink brush. I have something similar. I don't think it's exactly the same as this, but I'm excited to play with that. Also some swatching tools. A lovely little booklet here from Eric Small Things, and I think it's Clyde. I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry. And then a Leuchtturm book, which I have never used Leuchtturm paper, so I still haven't decided what I'm going to use this for, but I am excited to use that. And once I've done this swatching, I feel like I can start using these things. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you a little sample of how generous people are in our community and how much this meant to me. So if you're watching this, Joveth, thank you so much. It was like Christmas when I opened this, literally. It was so much fun, and I really appreciate all the thought that you put into everything. And I am so sorry that it took me so long to get around to swatching all these and sharing it with everyone, but I really do appreciate all the stuff that you sent over. Okay, let's get swatching. Okay, so first up we have Rohr and Klingner Helianthus. This looks like a beautiful sunshine yellow. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. Super saturated. Maybe it's like Ferris wheel press buttered popcorn. Or actually this looks similar to an ink that I just swatched recently, which was Monteverde Mango Mousse from their Sweet Life collection. That one is a little oranger, but still has this sort of level of vibrancy. That is lovely and very readable, very bright, very happy looking. Okay, next we have Birmingham Pen Company Shower Scum. Not as bright and happy. This looks kind of like a olivey green color. Ooh, whoa. Wow, that is an interesting color. It's almost, what is it? It's not neon green, but it's like this orange color, and then it has a limey olive green over the top of it. And as it's drying, it's sort of turning into a warmer orange. Well, that is a weird color. So this is Birmingham Penco. Shower Scum. Oh, it seems like such a mean name to call an ink, but it does look kind of murky and dirty and scummy, I guess, like pond scum. Ooh. But yeah, that is a really interesting color, and it has a bunch of shading in the text there. Very unusual. Okay, next one is Birmingham Penco Jasper Vein. Ooh, oh, this one's beautiful. So it's kind of like, almost like a chocolate color. It has a little bit of pinky warmth in there. In the vial it looks kind of orange, but as it's drying it's definitely looking more warmer, pinker. Yeah, I really like that one. That one is my favorite so far, but I'm a total sucker for pinkish brownish colors. So it is no surprise that I like this one a lot. And my water is that neon green that Birmingham Penco inks make your water. I know it's not in focus, but it's this neon green. All right, next up we have Colorverse Hubble. It's like a bright red. Ooh, that's really lovely. Ooh, it's almost a neon pink when it goes down wet. Yeah, it's a very pink leaning red. And as it's drying, it looks like there's maybe a little bit of gold sheen, perhaps, around the ink there. In the text, it doesn't seem to be coming through so much, but where it's really highly saturated, it looks a little bit goldy green. All right, our next one is Butcher's Broom. That sounds a little ominous, and it is a red color. Yep, that is very reminiscent of something butchers deal with, which would be not so pleasant. But yeah, it's a really rich brownish red, definitely more red than Jasper vein. Yeah, so that one has a lot of shading. As it's drying, it's a little pinker than brown, so it doesn't really evoke that blood feeling as much as it did when it went down. Okay, our next one is Birmingham Penco Prickly Pear. Ooh, what's this? Is this a purpley? Ooh. Gosh, my swatches. I think I'm picking up enough ink to finish that last line there, but that's lovely too. I love all of these ones. This one's definitely more of a burgundy brown. Is that what the colour of prickly pears are? I must admit, I'm not sure what colour they are. Yeah, that's lovely. That's just a very dark sort of burgundy brown. That's really nice. Oh wow, we can really see this green sheen on the Colorverse Hubble too. Okay, our next one is Van Dieman's Last Light. So I guess that's kind of like an evening light. Oh, that's beautiful. That is a lovely violet purple that has some bluish grey in it. Ah, that is a beautiful colour. It's as it's drying, it's getting sort of more purple, has some blue haloing around it. In the text, it's still a little bit wet, but it mainly looks like that desaturated purpley pink colour. That one's beautiful. All right, now we have the wet pen Blackberry. This looks kind of a rich purple colour in the vial here. Ooh. Ooh, that's delicious. That really is very sort of rich, fruity colour. Blackberry. Definitely more purpley than I thought it would be. And I thought it would be a little darker, but I'm really excited that this definitely is not a super dark ink and you get to see all these beautiful colours in here. It's kind of like the stain of when you crush a blackberry it gives you, rather than the blackberry itself. So it's a little bit lighter. That's beautiful. Wow, the wet pen inks are so good. If you have never heard of him, you should go check out his YouTube channel. He's a creator that has also produced his own line of inks, and in my experience, the couple that I've tried have been stunning. This one is no exception. It has beautiful shading. It's a really lovely colour. Yeah, I really, really like that one. Okay, our next one is Van Dieman's Riverbank. So this one looks quite light. Yeah, and this is kind of a greenish pink colour. and it's changing as we speak, looking a lot pinker, and this weird green haloing. Wow. I wonder what makes these inks, the chroma shading inks, change colour. I wonder if it's just a combination of colours or some way when it hits the air or oxygen or something that it changes colour. It's so bizarre. I don't know the science behind it. Okay, and that one is lovely. Okay, we're down to our last three on this page, which is Colourverse NASA Blue. Gosh, this looks really, really deep and rich. Whoa, oh gosh, that is beautiful. It's a very strong kind of primary blue, and oh, it's kind of shifting from purple to blue. It looked much more royal, and now it is, like we can see in these wet pieces, and then now it's sort of drying into a just a very bright blue. Maybe it's has purple sheen on it or something. That is a really cool color. Wow, yeah. I mean, it just seems like it's this simple blue, but that beautiful purpley pink sheen, that makes it a really interesting color, and it is, or you can already see it showing up on the text. Sometimes you can't see the sheen until it's completely dry, but I can see it developing already. Oh, that's great. That's a great color. Very rich and interesting. Okay, our next one is Sailor Agave. This looks lovely in the vial here. It looks like a very sort of green leading slate grey. Ooh, that is beautiful. I love grey inks. Oh, you know what? I think this one is tinged a little bit with the NASA Blue. Maybe I didn't rinse this out enough, because that seems unusual. So I would probably just ignore that little bit of blue there. Sometimes with these deep sheening rich inks, sometimes some of the ink just gets sort of pulled up into the end of the brush here, and then I will try and wash it as much as I can, but because that is right there, I don't think that's a characteristic of the ink. I think it is probably left over from this rich ink here. So I'm going to leave this brush to soak a little bit and use a different one for the next swatch. But I believe this is more like here where it's the slate grey. So this one is Sailor Agave. And that is a beautiful, beautiful ink. Sorry about the contamination of the swatch there. I think this is pretty true. So, and in the text you can see it's kind of more like that greyish blue. I don't think that's a chromatography thing. I think that's just a leftover ink thing. Okay, on to our next one, which is Moonbeam Meadows. Oh, this is a shimmer. I forgot. Oh well, I'll have to rinse out my water anyway. We did a whole page of swatching before I go on to the next round anyway, but I was going to leave all the shimmers to the end so that I didn't Ferris wheel press. So that I didn't contaminate any of the other swatches with this shimmer. Oh gosh, that is a beautiful ink, isn't it? It's such a weird shimmer. It's like this pinky purple ink, and then it has, I think, kind of like a gold and green shimmer, or duochrome shimmer or something. It's wacky, and it's really pretty though. It's a super pretty color. It's such a delicate base color, and then this weird shimmer on top. I love it. I think I recently bought a bottle of this. I think I had asked Joveth for a sample before I bought it, but yes, I think it was, I had some credit to spend on Ferris wheel press, so I think I picked it up. So I do know how lovely this one is, and I'm happy to have another sample of it. That's awesome. Okay, so that's the first page of swatching. We have a bunch more to go. We have some just normal inks plus some shimmer inks that I like to do towards the end. I'm going to change my water anyway, but yeah, let's grab a new page and we'll get started on the next set. All right, so I've put a new bunch of inks in here. We have a couple of non-shimmer and then we go into the shimmers. Got to get myself another little paper towel out of here. I just cut them up into little pieces and I use it to completely dry off my brushes when I wash them, as well as drying off this piece here. Sometimes I'll take that out, rub all the water off. You don't really need to get all of the water out of the barrel. It doesn't tend to feed through when you dip your pen, but I like drying that part quite thoroughly. So I'll wipe this on a normal towel first off to get most of the water off, and then I'll just use these, and then I let these dry and just use them a couple of times until there's too much ink on there. But yeah, let's get going. So our first one is Birmingham Penco Weathered Papyrus. Oh, I love Birmingham Penco colors. This one looks like a lovely sort of brown, maybe like a beigey brown. I dipped that way too much. It went all up into the handle, so I got to be careful. Yeah, that's nice. It has a lot more green in it than I thought it would. I guess I was thinking it would be more like a light beige-ish color, but it's kind of a grungy brownish green. Birmingham Penco inks are just so weird sometimes, but I love them. I love what they're doing. They're always kind of a little bit grungy. Okay, the next one is Van Dieman's Lost Love Letters. This kind of looks like a greenish, beigeish color too. Oh wow, very, very light. I might just move this down a little bit. It's up to look a little bit more. Yeah, I thought this might be kind of a pinkish color, but it definitely is looking like a grayish green. Although, oh, hang on, while it's drying, there is some pink coming through. Oh, how weird. Van Dieman's Lost. Wow, that is a lot of elf. But yeah, it's totally drying with some pink in there. Oh, that's crazy. The text looks sort of like a grayish pink. It doesn't really have that green in it. But yeah, that's a really interesting color. Quite light, but I like it. Okay, next one is Wearingeul Mind. This kind of looks like a purpley gray color. Oh, that's quite lovely. Yeah, so sort of a purpley grey colour. Kind of like an overcast day. Mind. That's interesting. Now I'm going to have to look up to see why they called it Mind. But my mind feels like that most of the time. A foggy, desaturated with all the knowledge that I feel like I'm losing every day. Alright, the next one is Wearingeul Robinson Crusoe. Oh, I've tried this one before. So I do have a list of inks, like in a Google Doc, of inks that I want to try. Like I'll watch somebody's YouTube video and be like, oh, I love that. And I will have a bunch of different swaps going. And sometimes I'll forget to mark off that I've already asked to try that. So I think I already tried this one before from another swap. But I am by no means disappointed in getting it again. Yeah, that is a beautiful color. I love just the freshness of it. It's like a tropical island. It is a beautiful color, very readable, really lovely. Not a ton of shading in there, but really nice color. Okay, now we are on to the shimmer inks. So our first one is Icy Great Lake by Van Dieman. This looks quite similar to this one. When I'm swatching these shimmer inks, I tend to put my brush all the way to the bottom to pick up the shimmer. So hopefully it will be a nice shimmery swatch. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's definitely a little bluer than Robinson Crusoe. I'm really enjoying Van Dieman's inks right now. They have some really lovely colors. So when I see that someone has, is it Lake. Someone has a Van Dieman's ink, I really am interested in trying it. I'm also really interested in trying Tono and Limbs inks at the moment. They have brought out some really beautiful sort of pinky brownish ones, which I absolutely love. I'm not terribly sure how readable they are in fountain pens, but I don't know, I can never get enough of those pinkish brown inks. Okay, so our next one is, oh, Land of Shangri-La. So I've tried this one too. I actually have a bottle of this one. I recently reviewed a pen for First World Press and they sent along a bottle of ink, and this is the ink that they sent. So it's not a new First World Press ink, but it was fairly new to me, and that's why I had asked for this sample from Joveth, because I hadn't tried it, but it is a wonderfully weird ink. It's sort of this grungy green brown, and with the shimmer it just looks sort of so antique. I really love it. Gorilla. And it writes quite dark. This Hokuro pen is a little bit wet right now, depending on how much you dip it into the ink. So that is quite dark. So we should hopefully get a bit of shimmer on it. But it has this sort of dark champagne shimmer. It's really beautiful. And yeah, when you're writing with it, it does have some shading as well, depending on how wet your pen is. But it's a really interesting grungy ink from First World Press. All right, our next one is another light one. This is Dominant Industry Dusk. So over here, when I'm swatching the shimmer inks, I always have two containers of water, but I try and wash out all the color and shimmer into one container, and then I'll just give it a little rinse in the cleaner water, just to try and get rid of most of the residue of the shimmer, because as you swatch, your water gets dirtier and dirtier. So it's an old watercolor kind of technique as well, that you have two containers of water so you don't contaminate the next watercolor that you use, or ink in this case. Wow, this one is beautiful. Dominant Industry. Wow, the shimmer on this is so delicate and lovely. It's sort of this violet pink, and then juxtapose that with this sort of desaturated purple grey. That is beautiful, and it is very readable too, with the little hints of shimmer. That's a really lovely colour. All right, what do we have now? We have Vinta Umber. Oh, I've been wanting to try this for a while. Ooh. Yeah, so it leans a little bit red, a little bit orange. I wonder what the shimmer colour is. It kind of looks pinkish right now. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, so very orange leaning brown, and then it has kind of, I think, like a pink shimmer, like a deep pink shimmer. That's a really weird combo. I feel like maybe the pink doesn't go great with the orange. It looks a little odd, but both beautiful colors. I'm not sure if that works together as a good shimmer color for the orange. Okay, now we have Robert Oster Ghost, which seems to have a silver shimmer. The ink looks quite dark grey almost. Oh, that's beautiful. And then it has this silvery shimmer to it. That's a great colour. I really thought it was just going to be a cool grey. In the vial it looks quite cool, but is definitely warm. So Robert Oster. I have quite a lot of ink on this dip pen. This is Ghost. Wow, it just writes kind of like a dark brown. Yeah, that is an amazing colour. Robert Oster Ghost. I love the metallic, cool toned shimmer on here. And then this definitely still has some warmth in it, even though it dried a little bit cooler than what it went down. Definitely still has warmth. All right, so next we have our last two. One of them, last ones, is Jurassic Treasure by KWZ. Ooh. Wow, that's a weird ink. It almost felt like molten metal there. I think it has maybe a greenish gold shimmer. Jurassic Treasure. And I laid down a lot of ink here. This is just a crazy amount. You can see all that shimmer around the edges. Wow. Okay, and our last ink is... Oh, this isn't a shimmer. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys. This is Wet Pen's Giant Pacific Octopus. So let me just rinse my brush out in some water that doesn't have any shimmer, because we don't want to carry that across, although that Jurassic, maybe I'll use a different brush. Ooh. Whoa, so that's a brownish red. That is a really beautiful brown. It's slightly warm, quite dark in the writing, but you can definitely still see some of the color and variation in there. That's beautiful. I feel like I've seen it swatched and I thought it was a little warmer, a little redder, but I really love it. Oh my gosh, look at this Jurassic Treasure. All it is glitter. That's amazing. You can't see any of the actual ink color under this. All you can see is the shimmer on that ink. Alright, so that's all of our inks swatched out. What a marathon swatching session. Hopefully you enjoyed it and it was nice and relaxing and you found a new favourite perhaps. So thank you Joveth for sending this over and all the other goodies. Thank you for your generosity, and yeah, I'll put all of the information to check out Joveth in the description with the Instagram account and his podcast and everything. And yeah, I'll be doing a bunch more of these in the future. I have a lot more swaps to get through and more new inks to try. So hopefully you can join me for those. And yeah, I hope it was helpful and I will see you in the next one. Bye!